Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Have you ever thought about what it would feel like, if the ground just vanished beneath you?
Oh,
Like
wow.
one minute you're just walking along expecting the next step, and then suddenly there's nothing there,
Yeah.
just open air. That feeling of falling that you just weren't prepared for,
Oh, it would be
it would be
terrifying.
so scary.
Yeah.
But what if that totally unexpected drop actually helped you to see the world around you completely differently?
That's so interesting because I think that initial shock can really shake things up. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It can strip away all those routines and expectations that we build up.
Right.
And sometimes when that happens, when everything is sort of like ripped away, well, that's when you find those really unexpected connections. Yeah.
Yeah, those moments where you're forced out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's like suddenly you're vulnerable and you have to lean on someone else, and that creates this like instant intimacy.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. This is our deep dive into a contemporary romance novel.
Okay.
It's called The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez.
I've heard of this one.
Oh, it's so good. There's a link in the description if you want to grab a copy on Amazon. But just to be clear, this is not your typical love story. Sure, it's about neighbors falling for each other, but the way they meet is so wild.
Oh, really? How do they meet?
Missing stairs. Literally, the stairs to the guy's apartment disappear.
What? No way.
Seriously. But the thing is, the book uses this totally ridiculous situation to talk about some really deep stuff,
I see.
like how we deal with feeling vulnerable and the courage it takes to both protect someone and to accept that protection.
Mm.
It really makes you think about how the strongest connections can come from the most unsteady situations.
That's a really cool premise.
Right. So if you're loving these deep dives, please do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. And let's get to it. That missing staircase.
Yeah.
It's not just a little bit of a hassle for the main character.
Right, it completely upends his world. You have to imagine Seth coming out of his apartment expecting to go down the stairs like he does every day, and boom, nothing there.
Oh my gosh. Just empty space where those
Yeah.
stairs should be.
Talk about a shock. I mean, that's got to be a moment of pure helplessness. I bet he felt so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost comical, but also kind of terrifying. And of course, his first instinct is to call his best friend Gabe.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're in a crisis, right? You reach out to your support system.
Exactly. But before Gabe can even get there, Seth comes face to face with his new neighbor, Charlotte.
Oh, so this is where they meet.
This is the meet cute.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly a sweet hello and a handshake.
Hmm.
Instead, Charlotte ends up bear spraying Seth.
Whoa, wait. Bear spray?
Bear spray. I know, it's crazy.
What happened? Was she trying to attack him or something?
No, it was an accident. She was startled and just reacted instinctively.
No, that makes more sense.
But still, talk about a first impression.
Yeah, that's got to set the tone for their relationship. I mean, getting bear sprayed by your new neighbor, not exactly ideal.
Right. But that initial reaction,
Yeah.
it actually tells you a lot about Charlotte.
Yeah.
She's on edge.
Yeah, I can see that. She's definitely guarded and ready to defend herself.
Absolutely. It's like she's carrying around this invisible shield.
She doesn't feel safe even in her own home.
Exactly. And then you've got Seth, who's just trying to deal with this completely ridiculous situation.
Yeah, he's probably just as surprised by her reaction as she was by the missing stairs.
And then the property manager, John, shows up and gives them the most unbelievable explanation.
Okay, what's he say?
Wrong apartment number.
Come again.
He put the work order in for apartment 60 instead of 16.
You've got to be kidding me. How do you even mix that up?
I know, it's crazy. It's like something out of a sitcom.
It's so ridiculous you almost have to laugh.
Right. But here's the kicker. He can't fix it until Monday.
Oh, no. So they're stuck like that for the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Yeah.
And neither of them want to go to a hotel.
That's interesting. Why not?
I think they both just want to be in their own spaces,
Yeah.
even if it means dealing with the whole no stairs situation.
Yeah, I get that. It's like a sense of control, you know?
Totally. Like my apartment may be inaccessible, but at least it's my own.
Exactly. Okay, so what do they do? How do they get up and down?
They bring in this boom lift thing,
Yeah.
but Charlotte is terrified of heights,
Uh-oh.
which is kind of ironic because Seth is an arborist. He spends all day up in trees.
Oh, wow. Talk about a contrast.
Right. But Seth also has a sprained ankle from a falling branch.
Oh, no. So he's not exactly in top form either.
Not exactly. So Charlotte, being the practical one, asks for a bucket and a rope.
A bucket and a rope? Seriously?
It's like something out of a survival movie.
You know, when I was in college.
But Seth, being Seth, makes a Silence of the Lambs joke.
Oh my gosh, he did not.
He did. And it's actually a really key moment because it kind of breaks the tension between them.
Oh, I see. It's like they're connecting over the shared dark humor.
Exactly. They're starting to see past all the awkwardness and the danger and just be real with each other.
That makes sense. Humor can be a really powerful way to bond, especially in stressful situations.
So they're figuring out this whole ladder situation, and then who shows up but Gabe, Seth's best friend. And let me tell you, he is immediately smitten with Charlotte.
Of course he is.
Oh, he's laying it on thick. But then things get even more interesting because suddenly this red Camaro comes screeching up and out jumps Izzy, Charlotte's best friend. And she's got a baseball bat with a sock on the end.
Whoa, 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 hold on. What's with the baseball bat?
Izzy's a total badass. She's there to protect Charlotte.
Protect her from what?
We're getting to that. But let's just say Charlotte has a stalker named George, and Izzy is not messing around.
Okay, this is getting intense.
Right. And Gabe is totally mesmerized by Izzy's whole fierce protector vibe. It's kind of hilarious.
So we've got potential for 2 love stories brewing here.
Maybe. Anyway, John, the property manager, finally comes back with a bucket.
Oh, right, the bucket and rope contraption.
Yep. And he's super apologetic about the whole situation. And then Holly shows up.
Who's Holly?
She's John's girlfriend, and Seth actually knows her from some volunteer work he does.
Oh, okay. So it's a small world after all.
A very small world. But speaking of Seth's personal life, we find out that his divorce was just finalized that day.
Oh, wow. Talk about bad timing.
Seriously.
Mm.
He's literally stranded in his apartment, newly single, and trying to deal with this crazy situation.
I can't even imagine. That's got to be a lot to process.
It is. And I think that's part of why he's so receptive to Charlotte.
Yeah, he's probably feeling pretty vulnerable and lonely.
Absolutely. And then Charlotte does this really sweet thing. She brings him a cup of coffee.
Oh, that's nice of her.
It is. And it's more than just coffee. It's like this gesture of kindness that really starts to break down the walls between them.
Yeah, it shows she's willing to look past the whole bear spray incident and see him as a person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they end up talking on the landing, this makeshift outdoor space they have. And Charlotte starts to open up about why she's so relieved about the missing stairs.
Oh, this is where we find out about the stalker.
Yep. She tells Seth that she's being stalked by this guy named George. And it's been going on for 2 years.
2 years. That's terrifying.
It is. She's got restraining orders against him, but he just ignores them. He breaks into her places. It's really scary.
I can't believe this is happening to her. It's like a nightmare come true.
And Izzy is not just being an overprotective friend. She's a private investigator and a firearms instructor. She's been helping Charlotte stay safe.
Wow, so this is really serious.
It is. And Seth, being the good guy he is, offers to help in any way he can.
That's sweet of him.
Right. And then he opens up to her, too. He tells her about his divorce, which was pretty crazy itself.
Oh, what happened?
His wife cheated on him with her second cousin.
Her second cousin. That's awful.
I know. And get this, they met on 23andMe.
No way. 23andMe, you can't make this stuff up.
I'm telling you, truth is stranger than fiction.
So what happened? Did they, like, run off together or something?
Yeah, pretty much. They even had matching T-shirts made that said, Pecker Family Reunion 2023.
Oh my gosh. That's so cringeworthy.
I know. But the thing is, Seth can actually laugh about it now. He's found a way to see the humor in the whole thing.
That's good. I mean, it's healthy to be able to laugh at your own misfortunes sometimes.
Absolutely. And Charlotte helps him do that. She finds it funny, too, and they bond over their shared sense of, what the heck just happened to our lives?
That's so important, finding someone who gets you, who can make you laugh, even when things are tough.
It is. And as they're talking, Charlotte mentions that she'd love to have a nicer apartment, but she's afraid to invest in anything because she might have to move again.
Yeah, it makes sense. She can't really settle down when she's constantly looking over her shoulder.
Exactly. George has taken away so much of her freedom. But Seth, being Seth, tries to offer some comfort. He starts giving her advice about plants.
Okay, that's random.
It is. But it's also kind of sweet. It's like his way of saying, hey, even though things are messed up right now, you can still find joy in the little things.
I see. It's like a metaphor for finding hope in unexpected places.
Exactly. And their banter just continues to grow. They're really starting to feel comfortable with each other.
That's so great.
So the next day they're hanging out on the landing again, and it's become like a regular thing.
A landing party.
I know. Gabe brings tamales.
Yeah.
Izzy brings pupusas as this whole impromptu gathering.
Yeah.
And Seth even puts up some deck lights to make things more festive.
He's really going all out.
He is. And then they decide to tackle Charlotte's balcony, which has been totally neglected.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's a mess. But they're laughing and making fun of each other, and it's clear that they're really starting to care for each other.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is. And then Seth does something incredibly generous.
What's that?
He offers to paint her walls.
Really? That's so nice of him.
I know. And he says that if she has to move because of George, he'll repaint them and fix the holes.
Wow, that's a huge offer.
It is. And he says he's doing it because he doesn't want George to win.
That's so sweet and protective.
It is. So they start painting, and they're waiting for John to bring more supplies when all of a sudden, this group of elderly ladies shows up.
Who are they?
It's Seth's bonsai class from the California Poppy retirement home.
No way.
And let me tell you, they are a hoot.
I bet.
They're making comments about Seth's divorce and how attractive he is, and they brought him Valentine's Day cookies.
Oh, no.
I know. And one of the cookies is shaped like the word whore with a slash through it.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that.
Seth was mortified.
I bet. That's hilarious.
It was. And one of the ladies, Marco, mentions that they're starting a GoFundMe to get Seth new stairs.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole thing is just this chaotic, hilarious mess. But amidst all the craziness, it's clear that the attraction between Seth and Charlotte is growing.
I was going to say, with all this forced proximity, something's got to be happening there.
Oh, it is. They almost kiss, but then John comes back with the paint.
Aha, classic interruption.
I know. And then Izzy shows up and starts talking about her orange peel theory.
Orange peel theory.
Yeah, it's her idea that you can tell a lot about a person by how they peel an orange.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Like if they meticulously peel it in one long strip, that means something different than if they just kind of attack it and make a mess.
That's a cool analogy. I'm going to have to try that out.
You should. But while all this is going on, Charlotte is still really struggling with her fear of George.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's hard to let yourself be vulnerable when you're constantly worried about your safety.
Absolutely. And she's worried about putting Seth at risk, too.
Right. If George finds out about Seth, he could become a target, too.
Exactly. And Seth does make it clear that he's falling for her.
Oh, wow.
And they even have this conversation where they acknowledge that they could be a fall risk for each other.
Yeah.
You know, like they could get hurt.
Yeah, I get it.
But Charlotte says she can't pursue a relationship right now. It's too dangerous.
That's got to be hard for both of them.
It is. But then the night before Valentine's Day, Seth asks Charlotte not to check her door camera in the morning.
Ooh, mysterious. What's he up to?
Okay, so Valentine's Day arrives, and Gabe and Izzy show up with mimosas.
Oh, that's cute.
It is. And then Seth reveals his surprise.
What did he do?
He turned the landing into this amazing oasis. He got a kiddie pool and filled it with plants and lights. It's the most romantic thing ever.
No way. That's so thoughtful.
It is. And Charlotte is completely blown away. She's never had anyone do something so special for her.
I bet she feels so seen and cared for.
She does. And they have this really sweet moment in the kiddie pool.
What, in the kiddie pool?
Yes. They're talking and laughing, and Charlotte even asks Seth to peel her in orange, which is a direct reference to Izzy's orange peel theory.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is. But then their romantic bubble is burst. Izzy calls and tells them that someone posted a video of them on the landing online and has gone viral.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
It is. Now everyone knows where Charlotte lives, which is exactly what she's been terrified of.
This is her worst nightmare.
It is. But Seth immediately jumps into action. He takes down the ladder and goes and talks to the downstairs neighbor who filmed the video and gets him to take it down.
That's good. Hopefully it didn't spread too far.
Yeah, but Charlotte is still really shaken up.
I can imagine. I mean, that's a huge violation of her privacy.
And it just brings up all those feelings of fear and frustration and anger at the system that's supposed to be protecting her.
Yeah, the system can be so frustrating sometimes. It's like it's not designed to actually help people.
It could feel that way. But in that moment of despair, something changes for Charlotte. She decides she's not going to run anymore.
That's a huge turning point for her.
It is. She realizes that she's stronger than she thinks she is.
That's so empowering.
It is. And then finally the stairs are fixed. It's a Monday morning, and John shows up with the crew, and they put the stairs back in.
So their landing adventure is over.
It is. And it's kind of bittersweet because they both know that things are going to change now.
Yeah, their lives are going to go back to normal.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But there's still this undeniable connection between them.
And they've been through so much together in such a short amount of time.
They have. But Charlotte is still hesitant to start a relationship with Seth. She's still scared of what George might do.
I understand why she's scared, but I hope she doesn't let fear control her life.
Me too. And then, just when you think everything's going to be okay, George shows up
Oh, no.
right in front of Charlotte's apartment, and he's got a box cutter.
This is it. This is the moment she's been dreading.
It is. But Charlotte doesn't freeze. She doesn't run. She's filled with this rage, and she grabs her baseball bat and takes him down.
She fought back.
She did. And she did it with that sock still on the end of the bat. It's like a symbol of how she's not going to let fear control her anymore.
That's so badass.
It is. So Seth calls 911, and the police and ambulance arrive, and George is taken away.
Thank goodness.
Right. It's finally over. But before they take George away, Seth leans down and whispers something to him.
Ooh, what does he say?
He tells him about how things buried under a western sycamore tree stay hidden for a long time.
Ooh, that's creepy.
It is. It's like a subtle threat, letting George know that he'll always be there to protect Charlotte.
Yeah, he's basically saying, don't even think about coming back.
Exactly. And Izzy, who has been super protective of Charlotte this whole time, actually gives Seth her seal of approval.
She's finally warming up to him.
She is. And then Charlotte and Seth have this emotional reunion, and Charlotte finally lets her guard down. She even asks Seth out on a date.
That's so sweet.
It is. And that's kind of the end of their crazy landing adventure.
So what happens to them? Do they live happily ever after?
Well, 6 months later, things are looking pretty good. George is gone for good. Gabe and Izzy are actually moving in with Charlotte, and Charlotte's going to move in with Seth soon.
That's great. They're all like one big happy family.
They are.
Yeah.
And they still have game nights on the landing, which has become this special place for them.
That's so sweet. It's like a reminder of everything they went through together.
Exactly. And Charlotte has gone back to working in an office, and she's even teaching self-defense classes.
Good for her. She's taking back her life.
She is. And get this, her story has gone viral.
Really?
Yeah, the whole thing with the missing stairs and the stalker and everything. And it's actually helped other women who've been through similar situations.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is. It's like Charlotte's experience has turned into something positive and empowering.
That's so inspiring.
It is. And Seth and Charlotte are still going strong. They're co-parenting her betta fish swim shady.
Of course they are.
And they're still bantering about plans.
They're perfect for each other.
They are. And the book ends with them planning a trip to IKEA with Gabe and Izzy. Just a normal couple doing normal couple things.
That's so sweet.
It is. And it's like this perfect image of how they built this new life together after going through so much chaos.
I love it.
So the big takeaway here is that sometimes the most unexpected falls in life can lead us to the most amazing connections.
That's a really point.
Like even when things feel scary and uncertain, there's always the potential for growth and resilience and finding love in the most unlikely places.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a reminder that sometimes you have to let go of control and just see where life takes you.
Exactly. So what did you think of Seth and Charlotte's story? What was your favorite moment? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share this deep dive with anyone who enjoys a good story about finding connection in unexpected circumstances. We'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.